Well, hey there, Mopoor. Welcome back to this incredibly dirty shop. I gotta start getting on some of these projects. This shop is disgusting. But today, actually this week, not today, this week, we need to get that sucker roadworthy. Last video, we got it running, we got it driving. Time to put some time and money into it. We gotta fix the wiring, get some lights working, get an accelerator pump working, get the brakes so that they're safe. We only got like one up front that's working and maybe a little bit in the back. So we gotta pull some drums off, take a look in there. We got some pad or some shoes ordered up for the front, maybe repack some bearings and whatnot. Get back at it. Yeah, got a lot of work to do. So let's get to it. All right, guys, let's just start with the things we hate the worst. Brakes. All right, so old Mopour's doing old Mopour things. This still has the original studs on it. We're on the driver's side. You can see, you can't see, but I can see, there's a little L on the ends of the studs. Left-handed thread. Old Mopour things. We don't know why. The thinking wasn't there yet. So, anyways, left-handed threads. You know, the weird part about it is, when you understand how a bolt and a nut work, and how, when you properly torque it, it stretches the threads, and that's what creates the resistance. Like, it just doesn't make sense that they're like, ooh, the driver's side, wheel spin in, oh, we gotta put those left-handed thread so that they don't unscrew. What the hell are you talking about? What are you thinking? Well, it's done now, but it just... engineers. That's all I gotta say. Some engineers out there. You just can't tell them nothing. Now, there is a time and a place for left-handed threads. Lug nuts just aren't one of them. Okay, so the grease caps on these unscrew. I didn't know that. So, yeah, it looks like somebody else didn't know that either because they beat the crap out of this thing years ago. But yeah, anyway, grease cap unscrews. But a little bit of something funny there is the grease cap is normal thread. Anyway, I'll drop it. I'll quit saying it. Quit griping about it. But now what we're gonna do is pull it. There should be a cotter key in there. We're gonna take the castle nut off. We're gonna take the washer out. And we're gonna pull the hub off. So much grease in there, you can't tell. One in 7/16. And that'll be a washer. Oh, I lied. Oh, there it is. Washer, bearing. Want to make sure everything's looking good, nothing sharp or scored. The bearings on this, you can tell. I can push this truck around one-handed. It just, golly, this thing, yeah. The bearings are definitely good. That I do know. Okay, then we can take off the hub. Spindle looks pretty nice. So, looking at this brake lining, yeah,
definitely could be turned, but we're definitely not going to do that. So I probably could have got away with just adjusting them. We're going to rebuild all this. Yeah. We're going to rebuild it. We got the stuff to do it, I believe. I'm going to go over and check the parts file, make sure everything showed up, but yeah. Let's get into it. All right. Sorry about that. My daughter stopped by to wash her Durango, and I fiddled around with this thing while I was helping her with that. Next thing I realized, I wasn't taping. So I will film taking apart at the other side and doing the shoe change on that side for you guys. But wanted to show you guys this. Got the wheel cylinder off. This is the reason why they weren't working. So I ended up putting the wheel cylinder in the vise, and I put a C-clamp in here, and I gave it a whole hell of a lot. Finally got it to bam, pop, but it's the edge of it all chipped up, and it's so pitted and scored up, and you can feel flat spots in it. It just I don't even think that it'll hone out. So I got a new one coming for this afternoon. So let's get on to some other things while we wait for the parts. Nobody could ever convince me that somebody thought that that was a good idea. Two 45-degree angles. You can't lift the transmission enough to get that out of there. The goddamn studs are like this. And if you can't lift it, just the geometry doesn't work. You can't get it. You can never convince me that somebody thought that this was a good idea. Never. 0% of it makes sense. 0%. You can't convince me. I am just so baffled at how anyone thought that this was a good idea. Why on earth didn't we just make a flat mount? Why? Listen, I love Dodge. I love a lot of their designs. I love their vehicles. This was the gosh darn dumbest thing I've ever seen them do. I'm gonna have to cut that out of there. I don't know, can you guys see that? Can you see that? Let's just move you up there. Okay. See this? This right here? God dang it, let's get you guys up there. See this rockin' design? Yeah. 45-degree angle, 45-degree angle. When you lift straight up. You can't lift at an angle, especially if this side were to have been in. This side was broken though, so this side was easy to take apart. I'm just beside myself, guys. This is insane. And the new mount is an even worse design. So, yeah, let's figure out how to modify this damn thing. All right, we have, well, first off, yeah, where did I leave off? I must have been with the tranny cross member. So, tranny cross member is up where it belongs now. There's a little bit of a gap between the cross member. We have the new mounts in. I don't care what anyone says, those are not the right mounts. They don't look like the same mounts that came out of there. I cannot find the mounts that came out of there. Yeah, so I had to modify these ones, which all over the internet, the freaking Boulder website, Google, everywhere. These are the mounts that they show for this. And I even tried a range of years in case I had a messed up transmission, but
whatever, it's done. What a goofy, stupid design. But what I ended up doing was I plasmaed a slot in there, and a slot in there, and then I was able to jack the tranny up as high as I could possibly go with the jack, or with the support. Then I started the mount up high in the slot, slid it down, used a giant pry bar, pried the tranny over as hard as I could. Well, trying to wiggle that in there, I just barely got enough room, but I had to cut the studs. I had to cut both studs to get it to work. It was silly, and it's not the right part. But it's in there now, it is solid, definitely gonna work. They're good motor mounts, or tranny mounts, they're just not the right ones. I don't care what Rock Auto says, I don't care what anybody says, these do not belong to this. This is not right. Or my cross member, which has factory rivets and everything, is completely wrong. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I don't like it. It's done now. Yeah, motor mounts are tightened back up because obviously I needed to loosen those in order to shift it back and forth. So now, on to brakes. I don't know if we're gonna make the car show this weekend, but we're still gonna try our damnedest. I ended up having to do a job yesterday that was pretty local, and then I had to go down to the cities and do another job today. So we lost quite a few hours in there, but you gotta make money when you can, and this don't make money. So this spends money. You know, I think you can all relate. This spends money, work makes money. It's a sad ordeal. I wish I could figure out how to switch those two around. Just not work and just do this to make money. I need to figure that out. Anyway, let's get on to brakes.
Okay, as you can see, got the new pads, or shoes, shoes all put in there. Spindle looks real good. New wheel cylinders in there. I couldn't get the hardware in time, so I reused the hardware, but these ones don't even have self-adjusters. So this is just it's a real simple design. Remember when you guys are putting these back together, the longer shoe, I think it's actually called the secondary shoe. I think this is the primary, this is the secondary. But remember that one always goes towards the rear. So yeah, that's what it should look like. And again, I'll show you guys tearing apart the other side. I know I lacked on this side, but yeah. Yep. So now I'm going to clean up the drum. I gotta remove the wheel seal. I gotta repack the bearings, and the hub can get slid together. Yeah. All right, so got the bearings packed, got the new wheel seal tapped in the back. I figured I'd fire up the video again just to, let you guys know. So anyway, got the rear bearing packed. I like to fill that cavity, which I already did with a bunch of grease in there. Then next will be the front bearing that I already have packed. Okay, washer's all cleaned up. Pretty easy, just line up the groove. Oh, you will notice I got 8 shiny new lugs on here, and the drum is no longer on. So this side had the left-handed threads. If you notice when I took it off, I only took 5 lug nuts off. There was 3 of them. 2 of them were stripped, 1 was broken. So I went up to go get the 3 studs that I needed, and it would have been a special order to get those left-handed threads in, those left-handed studs in. So I just said screw it, changed out all 8. Now they're all right-hand thread like they should be. Yeah, it's not something I wanted to do right now, but it's done. So there's really only 1 axle left, or 1 wheel left in the rear here. That'll be left-handed thread. So let me clean this off. Yeah. Drive ratchet. All right, so really you're not tightening this very tight. So you're taking up the slop. I've seen and heard 1,000 different ways of doing this from all forms of life. This is the way I've always done it. So especially with brand new bearings, take your slop out,
rotate it a few times. Make sure that your slop's out. Okay, then back it off a little bit. Should roll really nice. Don't want any in and out play. Okay. Those bearings and races look real nice still, so. All right, now, lock pin. I don't think we're lined up to any of them right now, so. Oh, there she is right there. Yeah, that's too far. Oh, there it is. I was just missing it. I was going too far back. All right, a little anti-seize on the threads. Run them in with a little impact here. Okay. Torque those once we get it on the ground. We'll move you guys around to the inside and we'll show adjusting the brakes. Still have to bleed them, but I'll have Lori here later and she'll help with that. Okay, so basically we're going to adjust the star wheel that's in here. I don't have self-adjusters or anything on there, so we're just going to go until we get a little bit of drag and then we're going to back it off a little bit. Can already tell this is going to chatter a little bit. Not quite perfectly round. All right, we're gonna try it there. I think it's gotta be adjusted more, but I think the, I think it's slightly egg-shaped, the drum, but we're gonna try it there, see what happens after we bleed it. All right, go over to the other side. Come on. Oh, I win. Come on. You can do it. All right, stop then. Screwdriver. All right, where did my screwdriver go? Jeepers. Phew. Bearing looks good. Feels good. Dang. This side, honestly, it looks pretty frickin' brand new, but we'll, yeah, dang, this side looks really good. Good liners on them still. Ugh, we got them, so we'll change them out, but dang, I mean, we really don't have to. It really looks pretty nice. As you guys seen in the last video, this is the one that was locking up, so this is the one that was working the best. Okay. Yeah, that's a shame. That looks really pretty nice. Okay. Gotta wipe off my pliers from they're so freaking nasty. Okay, these locks, just quarter turns. Push them in, hold back. Push them in, turn them. Try not to lose that frame because that's hardware. Turn them. I wonder if I can get that out without having bled the other side yet. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put the cap back on. And I'm gonna go in and depress the pedal slowly. All I'm trying to do is get that piston to pop out. And then fluid's gonna go everywhere. We're gonna try to catch the majority of it in that bucket. And hopefully parts don't go flying everywhere. What we're gonna do though, I think, is put a towel over it. And that should help contain it if it does water. I don't know if this is gonna work, but we're gonna try it anyway. All I'm trying to do is keep the parts from flying at such velocity that I can't find them. If they fall straight down into the bucket, that wouldn't be terrible. I felt it. Oh, look at that. Okay. It's gonna be a spring, piston. That spring's all caught up. Okay. Spring, seal, plunger. So this is essentially what's working in there. Your fluid's pushing on the back side of this, and that's pushing against when you push your pedal. It's pushing the fluid, pushing this piston against that rod, which is pushing your shoes outward. I mean, these things are pretty basic. New ones are only like, well, I think that one yesterday was like 30 something bucks. But a rebuild kit was literally like $3. $3 or $4, something like that. Okay, so then on the inside, oh yeah, you can feel all that old crusty fluid from when this was sitting before I got it moving. You know, you can see it's just black. So what we're gonna do is clean this up the best we can, and we're gonna see if I gotta run the hone in there to take any fine scratches or anything like that out so the new seal has a chance to seal in there. Okay, I'm gonna clean that up and I'm gonna take a look at it and I'll let you guys see. Okay, as you guys can see, try to move the light around where you get the least amount of glare, but there's a bit of a rust line in there. I mean, it's really not that terrible. I do have a hone though, so I'm gonna hone that out, make it all fresh, and then we'll rebuild it here. Okay, so kind of just like doing a cylinder. Keep your hone lubed. Don't run it one spot too long. Try not to drag your stones across it. Ooh, just a little bit more. Actually, I did quite a bit there. Right there. So the reason why I'm doing this on the vehicle is that kit didn't come with a crush washer. And you know, I actually have really good luck with those crush washers sealing again, you know, on the brake hoses. But I really like this thing going, so I don't want to take the chance. Backer plate doesn't get in the way. I can get to it real nice and easy. It's not a hindrance. If it was a dual wheel cylinder, I'd probably, you know, this one's real easy, so it's really not that bad. Stuck my finger in there, got it all greasy again. Okay, it's not perfect, but it'll definitely do. Show you guys what we got going on here. Get a side shot, maybe a little bit. Yeah, looks pretty good in there. So now I'll go grab the parts and we'll rebuild it. Got the new spring and seal here. I'm gonna put a little bit of brake fluid on that seal. Just goes in nice and gentle. Okay. Kind of nice and square. Got the pistons all cleaned up. Don't want any contaminants on that. A little bit of fluid on there. Push that in. Okay. It's a problem when everything's all good and smooth and clean. Okay. Now, the one part I didn't do here, I probably should have. Don't fly apart. All right. I gotta go wire. Don't you do it. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the new seal. Nope, new end cap. Really wish I had brought that over with me. Okay, we're gonna do the same old trick. Just to keep parts from flying apart. Or try our best. I gotta go grab that new end cap and wire wheel this up, clean it, and put a little bit of oil on here as I slide it through that end cap. Okay, rod cleaned up, pretty much looks like new. Got it oiled up, got it in the new end cap. I'm just gonna push this back in here and get that end cap installed. Nice snug fit. I like to see it. And it goes like that. All right. I'm gonna clean up this backing plate here just real quick. Not gonna get nothing too fancy. Yes, I should have done this before I did that wheel seal, or wheel cylinder. Make sure you breathe this in real good. No, don't do that. Okay. Alright, now choose and then you see next. I like to assemble, got long pad on the rear. I like to assemble the adjuster on the ground along with the spring. So I'm going to do that quick and then you'll see me pop back. Get that inside that rod. Jeepers. It really isn't that difficult. What is this adjuster? It's just being unbuttoned. Okay, let's try again. Just okay. This assembled. And throw it up there. Put that in. Slide that together. Sorry, it's hard to. Grab the springs and locks. Kind of dumb of me to leave it down there. Okay. Put the first one on. Then the spring. Now the second one. I'll just be pushing quarter turn. Okay, there's one. Push that over. Same deal on the other side. There, and the spring, and the cap. Okay. Now the spring's up top. Actually, cam plate first. Now, the spring's up top. Man, that spring is good and strong inside that wheel cylinder now. Oh, geez. Okay. Now this goes in there. Gosh, that is. Oh. Lori's calling. Lori's calling people. Hold on. All right, we're back. Oh, where are we going? Go. I'll push that one back. There we go. Now we'll keep tight in there. And this one. Okay. That's a little strange. Never seen one do that. You know, really didn't hurt anything doing it like that. Huh. Never seen one ride underneath the other one like that. That's strange. I just don't see where that's gonna hurt anything. It's very odd. What did that though? Okay, cool. Then, exact same thing as the other side. I'm gonna pack the bearings, get the drum set up in there, tighten up the preload on the bearings, back it off a little bit, and then I'm gonna adjust the star wheel until the linings are just barely touching, and then we're gonna call it then. All right, we'll be back.
All right, while I was editing this film, I went to go produce it, and I don't know how this happens. I don't understand it, but there is areas of the video that were deleted. I don't know how. I don't know. Clearly, well, listen, thank gosh I am a better mechanic than I am video editor, because this frustrates me. Can't find it in any backups or anything like that to put it back in. But basically what you're going to miss here is Lori and I replacing the windshield on it. The way these windshields work, it's not too terrible. The old gasket was extremely brittle from being in the Arizona sun for so many years. We just kind of literally took a pry bar, shattered the gasket around there, because these windshields aren't glued in. They're just it's just a gasket, and then there's a lock strip that goes in to push the rubber back out, expand the rubber, and it keeps everything sealed tight in there. So basically you're missing us shattering out that gasket, taking the old windshield out of there, and putting the new gasket and windshield in there. It is kind of a bugger, but just make sure you're using lots of soap and water. Have one or two extra hands there. I couldn't have done it without Lori. And it's not too bad. Just be patient. Keep working it around. Once you start in an area, just work from there out. I don't know that it really matters where you start, upper, lower corner, whatever. Just wherever you start, work from there and work your way all the way across the windshield till you get to the other side. And it's really not that bad. So, yeah, sorry about that, but it is what it is. So now we'll get back into the lock strip, I believe, is here. So thanks.
All right, so we got the lock strip almost in all the way around here. Starting it's about the worst part. Let me show you guys how to use this tool. So this is the Weil 47,000. There is nothing for information on this thing, so it took us a while to to figure it out here. But so you essentially feed it through. We got the Dodge Edge in there right now. You feed it through. This one's a small pointy one. Feed it through there, and then nothing on this side. So it's just feeding through that loop, and the spade is deep into that gully. You got to keep it pretty wet inside this channel and pretty wet on the lock strip itself. Then you just go along, and me and Lori I'll try to do it. My hands are opposite right now, but you go along, and this one pushes it in while this one guides it in. It seems like once you get it rolling, it goes good. But getting it rolling is definitely the hard part. Okay, so we're gonna cut it where it meets here and finish it off. But then just go back around, make sure it's pushed in evenly all the way around, fix any little divots that's not even, and yeah, should be good. Hey guys, morning, welcome back. Got the windshield done last night. Next on the list of things to do is broken glass in the doors. So this rear window here, it's kind of a goofy design Dodge has got going on here, but essentially this frame needs to come up and off, and then you take the glass out of the track, lift it off, put it back on. Like I said, kind of goofy. It sucks. I mean, if you had already restored it or whatever, you'd be redoing the seal, but we're just gonna take and cut this crusty old sucker for now because they are all shot and need to be replaced anyway. So we're just gonna cut that at the split there. Same on this side. Door panels already taken off. Handles were taken off. That's really all you missed there. All right, now gotta grab a socket and essentially remove this upper frame here. So I'll be right back.
Okay, so inside the door track here, you got your regulator right here. You can see those bigger openings. So we're gonna slide the glass over. We have to screw that up a little bit to close the gap, I believe, on that. And then we can slide it enough to get it out, I'm hoping. So put you guys back up. All right, yet again, another interesting little ditty here. So it turns out I was wrong. That does not fit through, hold on, the hole in that, like I thought it did. I thought it slid to the end, whatever, slid to the end, popped out. A lot like a B or a C body does. Absolutely not. Does not do that. Does not. Nope. Instead, what you gotta do is, while that's in the glass, you have to take this clip off. And listen, I'm sure if you were an auto body tech back then, you knew all about this. I did not know about this. So I'm sure that you had a pile of these in your ding toolbox or your bin or whatever that you just popped it off and you put a new one on there when you're done. I did not have the luxury of new ones. I don't even know where I'd go to get it. Probably Classic Industries or something like that. But listen, if I stopped every time I needed to put a little rinky-dink piece on, we would never get done with projects. So anyway, when you're doing that, I ended up using a pick and I just pulled one tab at a time. Actually, you only really need to get 2 tabs out of the way, but try not to bend them. And there's not a lot of room to work in here. And just pick them off. It pops off and then you can get it out. It's yeah. Listen, I'm not gonna say that I don't like the truck yet, but I am just, it's a lot. I thought it was so simplistic. Some reason I picture this and I picture the simplicity of like an old military Jeep or something. You know, it just, you can wrench on it on the side of the road and everything. And the cult following that these things have, everyone's like, oh, they're so great, so simple. You can replace everything with basic hand tools. The engineering in this is not that great, guys. It's I will take a B body or a C body over this thing any day. It's yeah, I don't know. So far, not impressed. The tranny mounts, the motor mount design, the frickin' last night when I put the brakes back on, I discovered, and this has nothing to do with the truck because this thing came with different style rims when they came with split rim. I guarantee you, not back spacing was different. But I almost bought new tires for this thing, and I found out last night that that tie rod's rubbing that inner tire on that passenger side. So it's a good thing I didn't get the 235s I was going to. These are 225s that are on here. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if a guy goes skinnier, if I have to get spacers for these rims, if I have to try to find other rims. I was gonna pop it off today and look, see if they're 16x8s or if they're 7-inch like they should be, or I don't know. We're learning as we go, but the likelihood that this is gonna be at the car show tomorrow is pretty slim. Anyway, I fished the regulator out of that tiny little hole because I figured it was a good time I was gonna grease everything up. So that's what I'm gonna do, and we'll get back to you. All right, looking down into that window there. Got the regulator back in, got the door vacuumed out. Going to get that window set on those 2 pins there and push those little buggers back on there. Going together probably should go, jeepers, probably should go easier than taking it apart did, but we'll see. You know what? If I don't clean this before I put it in there, my wife's never gonna stop giving me crap about it. I'll be back. Okay, we're back. Hey, you. Before you go down in there. Hey, you. Well, now that you're stuck, would you just go down in there?
all sorts of room they give you. Roll the windows. I'll do that. Oh. Not good for human hand. Got it. Well, gotta tell you, the off sucked real bad. The on was a lot easier. Okay, what can I gotta do with this thing? I think what I'm gonna do with these rusty little channels on the bottom, I'm just gonna put a quick sand on it, maybe give it a quick psh, and put it in there. I'll be back. That's better. See if she slides together. Oh, jeez. Little schmooter. So, try to get that window started in that channel. You know, that rubber channel. Which is not going to be as easy as one hopes. Okay. Great, that's really good. Right there. Well, so you put it all the way. Oh, ready to go. Look at that better. Okay, another project done. We'll putting up the door panel and everything here, and call that one good. Keepers. Okay, so just ran to town, got some parts, got a U-joint for the drive shaft so we can do a hanger bearing and a center U-joint later. Stopped in at local tire shop. They are willing to work me in on yet again another vehicle of mine. Last minute. Listen, I just got to give a big shout out. Andale Auto Care in Andale, Minnesota. Scott and the boys there will treat you frickin' awesome. Okay? They frequently work me in last minute with they work around my crappy schedule. They're perfect small town business.
They're the epitome of what you want to see in a small town business. So big shout out to those boys and Del Auto Care. Get your tires there. So yeah, we're gonna drop those off this afternoon. Things we got left to do: wiring, disaster. We got to fix that. So we got some lights and blinkers. I'd like to get these front two doors. I got better doors. Not that these ones are overly terrible, but this one's got broken glass. I don't want to take the time to replace the glass in it when I have a better door that I can stick on it. So I'm going to do that. Later, I'm going to try to get to the junkyard so that we can find a couple mirrors for this thing. And I really got to look at that. Damn it! I really got to look at that steering system in this thing. I really wish it didn't have that power steering. I wish I could find a new Pitman arm and drag link and everything for this, but whatever. It is what it is. We'll keep plugging away and see what we can do. So yeah, let's get into it. Huh. Yeah. Hey, parts. Okay. Oh my God, good thing there's been no body work done. Wow. All right. Ooh, speaker action. Right. Okay, 1, 2, 3. See where we sit so we can make adjustments. Kind of put it back where the old hinges were. Doesn't mean anything, but we'll see where we're at. Okay. It's gotta come out. Okay, bottom's gotta come out. Okay, it's got to go forward. Okay, I'm guessing behind these panels there must be adjustments on the door. So I got to forward with it. Oh, she needs some lubricant. Alright, bingo. So does the whole thing have to go forward, or just the top? So if the top alone goes forward, yeah, it's just the top, really. All right, a little too much. Here, gap here's a little better. This is decent. And just a little bit right there. I mean, it's all right. Just a little too high. Just a little bit. I can't go too much. There we go. Gap there's pretty tight, but the body lines match up, and that's what really matters here. Oh man, I learned it was in a different color. The other door handle is actually a little bit better. A little more better. I suppose I should have. Before I get too far, I gotta grab the handle off the other one and make sure that this works. Feels like it's gonna work. Okay, since we're in door changing mode, I suppose we'll go over to the other side, do that one.
Right, unfortunately you're seeing me again. So last bit of lost footage here is me putting the mirrors. So I found some mirrors on a 68 Ford F250, F200, I don't know, something like that, 68 Ford, and camper mirrors, and it's just essentially showing me measuring that, drilling the holes, putting those on. This is getting back on the tail end of that where I'm adjusting the mirrors, essentially is all it is. So you didn't miss too much. Essentially just use stainless hardware, acorn nuts, you know, all stainless so it doesn't rust out quite as bad, as easy, as fast, whatever. But yeah, when you're drilling your holes, just make sure you're measuring twice and drilling once. You know, use tape so you're not gouging the crap out of the door when you're setting this. Once you get one side where you like it, it's pretty easy to take measurements and do the second side. So that's really all you missed here, but it's unfortunate it happened, but like I said, is what it is. All we can do is, I don't know, try to do something better next time. All right.
All right, back again. I got one freaking nut on here that is just stuck. So, I'm putting a little heat in it. we can make that work now.
All right, that's that. So, the mirror's super stable, both of them are. There is a kicker. If it ends up not being stable, there's a kicker. Well, that would flip around, but yeah, anyway, the bracket faces the other way and it can go on there. It can either go on top or down below. I don't know. Yeah, I figured I'd try it with 2 first, and we'd go from there. If it vibrates like heck going down the road and I don't like it, then we'll look at putting the third arm on there, the kicker on there. But I didn't know if I wanted it down here, because that gives you a place to rest your arm when you're sticking it out the window, or if I wanted it up top, because I can also utilize that hole from the third kicker on the other mirrors that used to be on here. Yeah, I don't know. But lights work. I gotta take the light switch apart. The running lights aren't working when the lights are on, but just when I pull it out the first click, they're on. Blinkers work, brake lights work. Most of it was just all ground issues. Yeah, chassis ground here. I had to clean that up. And then the body mounts need to be replaced. You can see the sides kind of sagging and whatnot. But the box, they use wood. So it's bolted, and then there's wood underneath it that goes to the frame. I don't know if I can show you guys that. Yeah, not very easily. You see that over there? So that wood has to be replaced. And really the box only grounds. It only grounds through those bolts touching the frame. So what I ended up doing was I put a ground strap from the cab to the box. Let's see if I can, jeepers, show you guys. See, put a ground strap from the cab to the box, grounded that out, so now the lights and everything work. The rear of this thing literally has 3 wires. So you have brown wire is running lights, yellow wire is left turn signal and stop, right is green. And yeah, so I just picked up new 3-wire trailer harness, whatever, wiring, and went all the way from the front to the back and reran that, because there was about 800 splices in it, just a rat nest. Let's see the trash can here. This is all the wiring I pulled off of it. It's crazy, but yeah, I'm gonna tinker a little bit, get that door panel put on there, and yeah, we'll be back. We should be ready to go for a ride pretty shortly. Got to get some license plates put on, and yeah, pretty soon. Well, she made it up to the gas station, so that's a good thing. Putting the ethanol-free premium in it. I don't know how much we're gonna put in. I just put 5 in at the shop. Now, Yeah, probably put 7 in it. That'll give us 12 gallons. That'll give us home and back in the morning. Good enough.
Well, it's not bad. Got just under half a tank in it. You guys see I gotta adjust the passenger mirror a little bit. They don't seem to shake too bad, but I'm just in town right now. So, Speedo is surprisingly really freaking close to right on. Like, yeah, pretty goddamn close. Like, the brakes are terrible, right? It's too hot. I need to bleed those out with Lori tonight when I get home. But other than that, she's running and driving, baby. Temp seems to be doing good. Speedo's not bouncing around. Amps are a little high, but when I put the voltmeter on it, crazy, but we'll have to keep an eye on that before we put the battery. Oh, you'll get just a little slow. She's actually a little bumped now. Got to move the horn button back on. Get that going. But right now we're at 40 miles an hour. Seems to be doing alright. Yeah. Damn thing needs to wash like nobody's business, but I ran out of time tonight, so figured it was more important to try to get a little bit of money or a little bit of time on it. A little bit of drive time, so yeah. See if we can get her up to speed here. Well, 55 is screaming down the road. Yeah. Altogether, it's pretty fun. Yeah, it's pretty fun. So even though it's screaming down the road, we ain't got a shroud or anything on it. Temp seems to be doing good. Those amps are just jumping. I don't know. Definitely gotta look at that voltage regulator just in case. But yeah. That mirror, just, I don't know, it needs to be moved in a little bit. That mirror though, I love. Oh, that's a good one. Not moving too much. Oh yeah, God, that windshield's terrible. She's going, guys. We got no tunage. Well, I think that'll do it for this video finally, guys. And there's a lot of work that had to be done. Still a lot to go. But we did it. It's on the road. Like, actually on the road. So, feels good. We'll get this sucker cleaned up. I don't know if we're gonna do like a patina paint job or what on it, but I do know I gotta get on Becky because the Hemi, all the parts came for the Hemi, so that's ready. I'm ready. I really want to see Becky go back in. That thing's been off the road since 1983. 41 years that wagon's been off the road, so it's time. We don't know how long this was off the road. We know for at least bare minimum 8-9 years, something like that. So, but yeah, she's on the road again. We'll talk to you guys later. Remember, we are Mopoor. Go out there, work on those things, get them running, because this is fun. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later. Remember to like and subscribe. Peace.